Hi guys and ladies, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Port Orisar in the Stanton system, because Star Citizen 2.0 is now available to everyone to download. Anyway, let's have a look at what I've been up to in the last 24 hours. Well, here we are in Port Orisar in the Stanton system. Now, this is only a very small part of the Stanton system called Crusader. In fact, that's the name for Star Citizen 2.0. Now, the Crusader area is a very small part of the Stanton system. Now, basically, over time, features will be added and the area will expand, and it's really just the beginning of what will become the Star Citizen universe. Now, it is very early alpha, and if it was from a major publisher, you would never see anything so early in development. So thus there are bugs, glitches, and quite a few frame rate problems, and a lot of that depends on the server you actually get into. But hopefully they will be addressed as time goes on, and I believe the next version 2.1 will be out before Christmas, hopefully. So hopefully things will improve. So if you see any jerkiness in the video, well, that's what it is. It's frame rate problem. I have done my best to edit some of it out, but until we get a bit more of a stable frame rate, well, we may have to put up with videos like this for a little time to come. Now, I have got a high-end machine. I am running a 5930 with two 980 Ti's in SLI with 32 gigs of RAM. So if you've got a powerful system and are getting low frame rates, don't worry, it's not your system, it's the game, and it's because it's early alpha. But just look at that spectacular vista there, absolutely amazing. Now, I could look at that all day. Now I'm just going to pause here so you can take it in. Now, the first ship I'm going to try and fly is the Anvil Gladiator. Now, unfortunately, I had a bit of a problem with my X55 joystick. Now, due to downloading some new graphics drivers, I'd disabled my X55 profile, and so basically it was going to have a very adverse effect on my controls. In fact, I hardly had any controls to fly, and as you will see, I just barely took off and then sort of ejected from the Gladiator. Now, at first I thought it was a bug in the game, but no, it was user incompetence. My X55 was set up completely wrong. In fact, it wasn't set up at all. But ejecting from the Gladiator did give me this spectacular view of the landing pads below. In fact, drifting down, it was remarkably that you could see fantastic the ships below, and even the people, the players, were moving on the landing pad like little ants. You know, it was just an amazing sight. So as I gradually descended down using my EVA jets, I thought, well, maybe I could get back into my Gladiator. But of course, you can get back into ships now in Star Citizen, but not if you've blown the canopy. So I quickly realised my mistake. Now, so as we get closer, you can see that the canopy has been completely blown off due to my ejection. So some little bit of user incompetence, and it did take me a while to actually even once I set up my joystick properly later on to get the hang of the controls, because some of them have now changed. Anyway, I got a close-up look at the Gladiator and some spectacular shots of the landing pad below, and then I found that I span out of control. Now later on I did manage to correct the spinning in space, but it did take me a while. Now the next ship I'm going to fly is the Constellation Andromeda. Now I've actually do have one of these, but this one's not mine. I thought, well, maybe someone needs someone to help crew it. Now I decided I better open the chat box soon, because if you press F12 you get the handy chat box, and I did really find that useful in communicating to other players, and everyone I actually talked to was really friendly. As you can see, there's a guy here in the turret, so it must be his constellation. Don't know why I was injecting myself there, but hopefully it made me feel a lot better after ejecting from the Gladiator. Anyway, I decided to get into this constellation, and this is where you'll probably get an idea of the frame rate problem I was having. Now I think it was actually, this was probably the worst frame rate I got during my first time playing 2.0, and as you can see, MSI Afterburner is up, and you can see it's not that great, but I quickly realised I was having so much fun I didn't really want to know the frame rate, so I got rid of it. Now I did have to edit some of this video because it was a bit jerky, but it does show how much fun it is actually working with another player, and until I met this guy I didn't know him from Adam, but hopefully we'll play together again sometime soon. Now both of us didn't really have a clue what to do, and we actually spent a few minutes playing musical chairs. Now I didn't know what the control panel's done, and let's face it, as my joystick didn't work, I wasn't going to take this constellation anywhere. Now somehow our constellation acquired some damage, so we headed to the Cry Astro Repair Station. Now fortunately Judge Zetsumi worked out how to fly, and the only thing we did find was we couldn't get repaired, and basically I realised that you had to land in the middle of the blue circle, so fortunately Judge Zetsumi used his flying skills to land us properly.
Checked our inventory and we're stocked for all your repairs. Stand by. Stand by. Restocking ammunition. Beginning fueling. You're good to go. Thanks for choosing Cryastro.
Very shortly after the release of 2.0, Star Citizen went over $100 million in crowdfunding, and by the looks of things, quite a lot of new players have signed up to take part in the game. Now, I had fun with the constellation, but as I got more proficient with the controls, I decided to take a ship out on my own, and the ship I tried was the Drake Interplanetary Cutlass. Now, despite actually getting a little bit of damage, I hit a pylon, I believe, on Port Orisar. I decided to take it into Quantum Drive and go to a mysterious space station where there's the opportunity for some first-person combat. Now this is security post Port Carrier, hope I pronounced that correctly, but this place is designed to test your first person combat abilities. Now, in the not too distant future, there's going to be a dedicated FPS module, but for now you can try a little bit of gunplay out at this security post. Now, to be honest, I was hoping to avoid any trouble because I've had a feeling that I'd probably be an easier victim. Bit of a sitting duck. Now, I did notice that there was a gladius landed over in the corner, so I was a little bit wary about going inside. Once I got through the airlock, everything seemed to be a bit dark. Now, I did have a light on my helmet, but at this stage, fortunately, probably, I didn't know the actual key to actually switch it on. To be honest, it turned out I was better hiding in the shadows. Because as I actually moved around the corner here, I realised someone was coming in my direction. And they seemed to be equipped with rather a large weapon. Fortunately, as I was in the shadows, he either didn't see me or he was worried about his ship. Maybe he'd seen my cutlass land and was worried that there was a few other players on board and they was likely to make off with his gladius. So it looked like he was just intent on getting back to his ship. That was fortunate for me because I didn't want to become one of the first early victims of a shooting. Anyway, I found out here that's where you can get your weapon. Now, this is you do come equipped with a pistol as standard, but this looked a lot more business-like. Anyway, I thought I'd better check up just in case the guy who'd went outside to his gladius had changed his mind and fancied making off in me cutlass. But it looked like he was settled in for takeoff. It looked like there was another ship approaching and it seemed to be a constellation. Now, there didn't seem room for him to land over on this side of the station, but of course there was a lot of landing pads over the other side, so there was the opportunity that a few more players could be prowling these dark and dingy corridors. Anyway, at least the gladius had gone. But as for this constellation, well, your guess is as good as mine where he went. Now, I had a quick look round this station, but, you know, to be honest, I was pretty nervous. You know, I didn't know if anyone was here. I didn't know if anyone had crept outside into my cutlass and was waiting. For all I know, there could be some type of space alien hiding in the shadows. I don't think so, but it's the type of place where you'd find one. Now, at the moment, there's no cover system in the game. All that is coming later, and some of the animations for the first-person combat haven't been implemented yet. Look at those shadows, certainly is atmospheric. Now, it was probably unwise here that I actually shot off around because someone could obviously hear that. So I decided it was best to actually make my way to the exit and get on my cutlass and hope that no one was there waiting for me. Of course, I could be under observation from the actual windows up there. I think I'd better run and take off while I've got the chance. Who knows if anyone could be lurking inside though. Fortunately, it looked like I was okay. So I better shut the back door and make my escape. I'm going to come back here in the future, and it's certainly going to be a place where you're going to be able to get plenty of practice in a bit of a first-person combat. As you can see, my cutlass is a little bit damaged. Ship I tried was the Anvil Super Hornet. Now you can actually get another player in here, but for this flight I decided just to get a bit of practice on my own. At least my joystick was working properly, so there was no fear that I was going to eject and make a fool of myself again. I decided to head out to find if I could find some action out in the beyond.
Lock.
Now later on I even found the right way to get out of my ship and also get back into it. Now just look at the backdrop there of space. Now this is one of the most memorable things I've done so far in 2.0. Now I'm someone who grew up watching Man land on the moon, and I've always been a big fan of watching all types of space exploration. Now, sadly for me, I'm never going to get into space, but this is going to be about the closest I'm going to get to that.
Warning, systems overheating.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, I'll be doing a few more videos over the next week or so, obviously work permitting, from the Stanton system. Wherever you're watching out in that big universe, take care. And I'll see you somewhere out in the Stanton system. Bye for now.
Quantum travel initiated.